But I wonder if people, like you say, you don't like people who are not hardworking. I wonder, are there people who worked as hard as Steve did and does?
I was thinking when I said it that there's an exception. I know we're both admirers of Norm Macdonald, and he seems sometimes like someone who has something. It's his cadence. It's the way he talks. I don't know if he's a hardworking comic, but God, he makes me laugh. Mm-hmm. And his cadence, something is just wrong about it, you know?
But I love Norm, and my guess is, what I know of Norm is that he may not be working hard.
No.
But what he has is the same result as somebody who's worked hard.
Yes, yeah.
Which is, again, enviable, admirable. But God, he makes me laugh. And I happened across some of his time on Weekend Update.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When you watch it now, you realize Norm just didn't care if it got a laugh.
No. And he didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't care. And he had a joke. I think Downey wrote the joke. It was during the OJ trial. And there's a picture of Johnny Cochran holding up the knit cap with OJ sitting next to him. And God, no one could do this but Norm. Norm said, a little bit of a wrinkle for OJ in the trial today. Johnny Cochran stood up and held the knit cap that was found at the scene of the double murders when OJ jumped up and said, hey, careful with that. That's my lucky stabbing cap. Who else could do that?
Right.
And he doesn't. And if it got nothing, he would stare.
Yeah.
And tell you your problem. I thought that was one of the best. Dark but fantastic.
Right.
And also, no one could do it but him.
No, that's what I was going to say. I would, if somebody had pitched that joke to me at the height of the OJ trial, I would have laughed and not done it. Would you have done that joke?
No, I would not have done that.
Yeah.
I would have been queasy and it's tragedy and it was theater of some kind, theater of the absurd.
But the delivery, the persona, and the material, it's
perfect,
powerful. Yeah,
obviously a lot of entertaining celebrities, but Norm Macdonald used to come on our show in the early days, and those were, I thought, great television because we never knew it was happening, and it was always teetering on the edge of it was all about to blow up. It's all about to fail, and it would always end brilliantly. And then he stopped coming around, and it was just a period that passed. And I was always sad about that because I thought we're a very celebrity-conscious age, and people always think that the best guests are the biggest celebrities. Sometimes, the best guests are these people that you have a weird connection with, and it's compelling television. People see and they talk to me about it later on. Like I'll be out in the world walking around and people will say, I saw that when you were with Harlan or when you were with Norm or with Will, and that really got wild and crazy in a way that they don't see on television now.
Have you, over the years, who are some of the people who have been your go-to people that I just remember Dave in his early years had Terry Garr and he had Sandra Bernhard.
Yes.
And they were kind of magic together. Who are your...
I had so many people. Norm Macdonald was this person who would come, you all know Norm Macdonald, but Norm Macdonald, when we would have him on in the early days, to this day I've never interviewed anybody like Norm Macdonald.
Who was the best guest that you've ever interviewed, and who was the worst?
I love Will Ferrell. I also love Norm Macdonald because he comes on and his stories are all invented. None of them are real. They're all old farmers' daughters jokes. And he pretends he'll come on. I'll say, "What's up, Norm?" He'd be like, the other day I was walking down the road and a pirate comes up. I'm like, "What?" Yeah, a pirate comes along and he's got 3 pigs with him. One of them is wearing a hat, one's got a pipe, and then it's just a complete waste of everybody's time that's absolutely delightful and hilarious. And so I love him.
Your favorite guests are always like the Bill Burr, Norm Macdonald. This might go off the rails really fast.
Norm Macdonald, one of the great talk show guests of all time. He invented something that Norm Macdonald invented this amazing thing that I've never seen anybody do before or since. It's kind of like he split the atom. It was that revolutionary. Norm would come on
And he would, instead of telling you a real story, like if I had you on the show and you're like, hey, Bill, tell me, well, when, remember I was living in Chestnut Hill once and you would tell a real story about what happened to you in your life. Norm tells old jokes as stories that happened to him.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, Norm, what are you up to? And I mean, really old jokes from like the 1920s. And he'd be like, well, Conan, I don't know if you're aware that I purchased a farm, Conan. I'd be like, really? You purchased a? Yeah. I purchased a farm. Of course, I have 3 daughters. And I'm like, you have 3 daughters? Yeah, I have 3 daughters on the farm. One very attractive, one not as attractive, and of course the third not, kind of. Well, she's ugly, Conan. She's ugly. And I'd be like, Well, one day, this traveling salesman comes to the farm, and he says, now, Norm, I tell you. And then it's like he's telling an old traveling salesman joke.
Yeah.
But
about halfway through where it's going.
I mean, I usually know. I know kind of what he's doing. I'm laughing that he has the balls to do this. I'm laughing at the audacity. So I don't even care if this joke lands or not. I'm laughing that he's committing to the fact that, no, he doesn't have a farm. He doesn't have 3 daughters. There's no traveling salesman. But he doesn't care in a way that is exhilarating and scary at the same time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And plus, he probably has some people in the audience who are taking completely seriously, right?
Yes. Yeah. He's got some people thinking.
We call them tourists.
Yes, we call them. They're usually from San Bernardino.
Well, Norm had the greatest talk show moment in the history of talk shows with Courtney Thorne Smith.
That was epic. That was so great. And it's funny because
it's lived on. Who knew that we were going to have YouTube eventually?
You know what?
We could just queue it up on command.
God bless YouTube. I had no idea when those things were happening. I thought, we're talking 1993, 94. When those things were happening, I thought, what did I know? I just thought if you were up and you saw it, that means you saw You saw an amazing thing happen. And if you, and then maybe if I get to stay on the air long enough, we'll have a 1-year anniversary show and maybe you'll see it then. But if you're not there for that, it's gone. And now I meet people, that around the world that will say, oh, I just saw that thing with you and Norm and Courtney Thorne Smith. And I'll think that was a moment of my life when I was 30.
Yeah.
And I'm like 85 now.
Hey, Norm Macdonald's on the phone. You know I love Norm. And Norm?
Yeah?
So Norm, is it true?
How are you, Norm?
Is it true you've been up drinking all night?
Why who told you that?
Gary.
Oh yeah, no, because I had to stay up.
Right.
To write, so I decided to drink, but I'm not drunk.
What have you been writing?
What are you writing? What?
What are you writing?
I have to write. I have to write this movie.
Oh, you're doing a movie?
Sounds like a school project.
Yeah.
I have to write this movie.
What do you got a date to turn it in?
What's your story, man? Like, someone hired you to write a movie?
Yeah, you know how comedians write movies and then they get to be in them?
Right.
Oh, you're writing your own movie?
Yeah, right.
Oh, like Austin Powers or something.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah. Why don't you just do Austin Powers?
That'd be great.
So you started to drink?
What?
You started to drink while you were writing?
What are you drinking?
No, I wasn't. I was just drinking some Fresca.
Fresca.
He likes to drink.
What is in that Fresca?
He drinks a beer and then he urinates in the beer bottle.
Good Lord.
And his whole apartment is filled with beer bottle urination.
No, let's forget about that.
Isn't that true?
No, that's...
Tell the truth. You're the one who told me that.
What?
What?
Somebody told me.
No, he told me that.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought somebody else told us and he confirmed it.
Well, as Late Night with David Letterman inches toward the finale, many actors and comics are coming on to pay their final respects. Norm Macdonald closed out Friday's show by doing 5 minutes of stand-up and then paying a heartfelt tribute to his idol, saying Letterman is the greatest talk show host who ever lived. I have a couple of clips for you. The first clip is Norm fighting through tears, telling one last joke in Dave's honor.
I remember Dave differently because the first time I saw him, I was 13 years old. I was living in...
I'm just thinking about all those interns Dave had sex with and feeling bad for them.
I went to a talk show they had there, and David Letterman was the stand-up comedian on the show, and I loved stand-up. And David Letterman did this joke that I told everybody this joke. I love this joke. It still stays with me as my favorite stand-up joke ever, so I'd like to do it for you if you'd like to hear it. He goes, I was on the street the other day, and I saw a garbage truck, and on the back of the garbage truck, there was a small sign that said, "Please do not follow too closely. Another of life's simple pleasures ruined by a meddling bureaucracy," ladies and gentlemen. You remember the old days when Dad would pile the kids in the station wagon and we'd all go out and follow a garbage truck?
I saw that, and all I could think of is I wasn't thinking about.
Sounds hot.
I wasn't thinking about Dave. I was thinking about Norm. Norm is perfectly capable of like shaving and putting on a little Grecian formula and putting a tie and a suit on and going to New York and doing a really funny, kick-ass 5-minute stand-up comedy set. But then you talk to him about doing podcasts or projects or teaming up or whatever. It's like, Norm can't leave his apartment because if he gets up, he'll kick over a jug of urine and he'll lose his cleaning deposit. And he does not drive. He does not drive himself. Oh, no, he does not. By the way, move to L.A. and then make the proclamation, "I don't drive." And it's like saying, I can't be employed. Like, he should just fucking take ropes and put himself onto the bed like James Caan in Misery.
Oh,
like
he doesn't drive?
No, he does not drive.
Why?
He has a helper person, female, whatever. So it's so insane. And then, people tweet me all the time like, hey, get Norm on, man. You guys are dynamite together. Everyone loves you and Norm together. And I'm like, it would be awesome if he was capable of getting inside of a Volvo and propelling himself in my direction.
Where does he live?
He lives somewhere on the west side, sort of beach city.
Oh, he's in L.A.?
Yeah, he's in L.A.
Okay. All right.
He does not drive.
Well, that can be fixed.
I agree.
Are you taking his beautiful Dave Letterman moment and making it about the fact that you can't get him to do anything with you?
That's exactly what's happening. Yeah.
I just see the guy. I'm seeing it because he is so good when he wants to be good, and he puts himself together, and it's perfect. And then you see him, and he's got like a gray beard, and he's walking around with Kleenex boxes on for slippers, and it's like, look, just fucking learn, get your driver's license, and come on out.
Yeah, join the rest of us.
It's in
society.
Well, no, I feel like Norm's talent is being wasted in Norm's apartment instead of out with us.
Which I believe now. See, I don't know anything about what Norm's doing. You catch him every now and then on a clip. You catch him. Maybe he calls in somewhere, and I've seen him there. He seems to tweet a lot now, though.
Yes.
He'll tweet.
Guess what you can do from your living room.
He'll watch an entire round of golf, the Masters. He'll tweet every shot. He'll go on long rants. Well, he showed up at the SNL thing.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's the whole thing.
He's capable.
He cleans himself up, he shaves, he puts on a suit, and he goes out and does a really funny stand-up set.
And you wouldn't even need him to clean himself up or a suit. I'm wearing pajamas right now with slippers.
I'm wearing fucking practically pajamas myself. I know. I just, all I'm saying is he is one of the funniest guys on the planet.
Oh,
it would
so
be
funny.
nice if he could, somebody just backhand him and yell, "Get hold of yourself." and then give them a shot of vermouth or something, and go, let's go. We're going down to the fucking DMV.
Maybe that's
we're getting
you.
a license. I think I told him.
That guy sounds hot.
It's either that or Gilbert Godfrey. I can't remember, but I told one of them, I will teach you how to drive.
But you don't need to. If in his position, he can get someone to drive him places. Oh, there's Uber. I love Uber. Oh, you hate Uber?
No, I love it. I just can't. It's impossible.
The answer, yes, is you could get someone to do it.
Has he never
Maybe
driven?
he just has a social phobia that only goes away when he goes to New York for major television farewells and finales.
Was there a driving-related trauma? I don't want to belabor this, but I'm fascinated.
No, there are many people that they're allowed to just announce to the world that they're nuts, essentially. And then they can do whatever idiosyncratic behavior they like, and then everyone just sort of covers for them. They go, Gilbert Godfrey or Norm or whoever. Everyone goes, oh, well, they don't drive.
Well,
but
yeah.
no one ever goes, why the fuck not? I've been driving since I was 15 and a half. It's
That's
no
like
big deal.
Bill Cosby doesn't have sex with women who are awake. That was his thing.
That's his thing.
He announced
how
it.
it is.
Maybe he
That's the
should have announced it.
He should have.
Yeah, we've been forgiving.
Well, the magazine POV came out this week with a list of the best and worst jobs to have in the next century. Their three best were, in this order, multimedia software designer, management consultant, and interactive advertising executive. While their worst, for the third year in a row, crack whore. Finally, in U.S. News and World Report's list of the best and worst jobs for 1996 is out. Last year's best job, multimedia software consultant, was replaced by a new best job, bioindustrial engineer. And in the worst job category, last year's winner, crack whore, has lost its spot. The new worst job is assistant crack whore. Finally, according to the U.S. News and World Report 1997 Career Guide, the best job in the United States for the second year in a row is interactive business system analyst. However, last year's worst job, assistant crack whore, has been replaced by a new worst job, crack whore trainee. That's the... I swear to God, this one will really do well. This one concerns a fella that won the lottery. And he was a garbage man. He won the lottery. He won the New York State lottery. And he won like $8 million. And he said he's not going to quit his job. And you've always heard that, right?
Right. I'm going to keep my job.
I'm going to keep my job. And there's only one occupation where the person does not keep his job when he
wins the lottery.
Wins the lottery. You know what that occupation is?
No.
Crack whore.
That was amazing. You pulled it out. I was worried about you for a minute. I thought you were in deep trouble. I thought you might get backed into a corner, have a lot more pressure on you, and then not have anything.
I know.
But the pitch came in low and towards the middle, and you put it out of the park.
No, I didn't.
What are you talking about? When people hear crack whore, they just start laughing. That's just the reaction people have.
It's
got when birds fly in and sing a song. Crack whore. What are you doing now?
I just saw on the TV my hair.
Okay. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to take a little commercial break.
Okay, great.
And I'm going to get security in here. And
And then we're going to come back and we're going to talk to you some more, because you're going to have some fluids during the break and stuff.
Fluids?
Yeah, you'll see. We'll get that Tanya girl to get them for you.
I thought when you said that, I thought you meant fluids out of my ass.
A couple of times in the 4 years I've been doing this show, someone has stopped me just before I went to commercial to try one more joke. That was the most worthwhile of all the time. We'll take a break, everybody. We'll be right back.
After closing out a successful first season, the WNBA is considering several changes to improve the level of play in the league next year. Among the proposals, extending the playoffs, increasing salaries, bringing back the three-point line, and replacing all the female players with guys. The WNBA officials expanded to 10 teams this week, adding franchises in Detroit and Washington, D.C. But before you get too excited about the new additions to the league, remember, all of the players are still women. They stink at basketball, that's the problem. Other than that, it'd be a good, good game, but they're all horrible, so it makes for a kind of a boring game.
The next time I watch a WNBA game will be the first time I watch a WNBA game. Hey, WNBA, I got an idea that'll sell some tickets. Shirts and skins. Okay, WNBA high scoring, and enter. Oh, Google. Did you mean NBA high scoring? That's terrible. Oh, come on now. All right, let's try a different one. WNBA triple double. And enter. Oh, Google. Look what Google said. Did you mean NBA triple-double? Google, that is sexist. I can't believe this. Okay, last try, Google. Let's make it easier. WNBA double-double. Enter. Google! Oh, Google. Last week, we searched a few terms like WNBA high scoring. And Google asked, did you mean NBA high scoring? Oh, Google. Hey, but get this. The next day, Google fixed it. They removed all their sexist NBA suggestions. So well done, Google. Hey, I notice every Wednesday evening she goes with her other lady friends and they go down to the YWCA and they play basketball with each other, which is fine nowadays, So then she would eventually come out of the YWCA, all sweaty with her, her ridiculous three-colored ball and everything there, And
earlier today, the biggest auction ever of Beatles memorabilia took place in Tokyo. Among the one-of-a-kind items on the block were Paul McCartney's birth certificate, a white Mercedes-Benz owned by John Lennon, and rarest of all, a photo of George Harrison not looking haggard. Have you ever seen one when you think about it? In a recent interview, Paul McCartney confessed that Bob Dylan turned the Beatles on to marijuana. In return, George Harrison turned Dylan on to looking old and haggard.
I've never seen a picture of George Harrison not haggard.
He's somewhere, he's be-haggard. He's like beleaguered and haggard. Like he's haggard with a beleaguered
Be-haggard?
thought. Yeah.
People magazine, Johnny Depp Sexiest man alive, huh? Hey, listen, I don't care what you think of this guy. He's a hunk. You know that. I know that.
Yeah, sure. We
Let's
can say
not kid
that.
ourselves. Now, apparently he's taking advantage of this sec. Do I need this anymore?
No, you've established. It's real. People know about it.
So he's a... Look at that guy, man. Good Lord, I'd like to... Whatever. But I'll tell you this about the new movie he's doing, Pirates of the Caribbean 3. He'll be doing full frontal nudity.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's rated R.
Oh my God! What the hell was that?
Is it really my fault? 'Cause you try to hit me with your pity till I can't trust, but I still push on. Got me changing my ways, trying to fix it.
What we want to know is, are you a brother or a sister?
Well, I'm an only child.
There's a word for what you are.
Charismatic?
So what the hell are you? A man or a woman?
Farley, that night was the first night I ever met Farley. It was your first night on the show.
We all sat around and watched you when we were cheering you on, buddy.
And Farley, he took me. He never met me before in his life, you know. He took me back. He said, "I got to tell you a secret about SNL."
Oh, yeah.
Took me all the way to the back and
Like the woods. This is the woods.
No, within the
Okay, the hotel, right?
in the hotel, and he secreted me into this room, and he locked it, and he made sure it wasn't bugged and everything. He said, "I got a secret to tell you." I was very, honored to have this. And then his secret was, he said, "This doesn't go past these walls." Pat is a woman.
Tell me your history with Norm.
Well, it's
Did
not-
you
I
guys
mean-
date?
No, not date.
Oh.
He
Good for
he
you, by
was
the way.
he was mean to me in a terrible way.
Oh, I'm
on my
sorry.
when his first show on SNL, there was a sketch and they wanted to change something and I didn't want to change it to that line, and he came up to me in the makeup chair and said, "Your problem is you're not funny, you're just not funny." He said that to me. I'd been on the show for 4 years. He was just started it. I think it was his first week. Okay, there's a better part of the story. So then, of course, I didn't like him.
Norman can be rough.
I really didn't like him. And then I was about to leave the show anyway. It was like just one more reason to get the hell out of here. And but I was very, very good friends with Laurie Jo Hoekstra, who he was always,
Right.
very much.
They're
and
friends
she's-
for
yeah,
years. I don't
friends
even
for
know
years.
if
I'm very-
that is the woman in his life,
Yeah,
or is she?
I don't actually even
She's
know.
his handler.
Yeah.
Lojo, as he refers to her.
Lojo.
And she's been with him for like
For a million years.
since back then at SNL
Yes.
in like '93.
Yes,
yeah.
and I always loved Laurie Jo, and it was a very tumultuous friendship then, and I just really didn't like him, and then I left the show, and I just really didn't watch anything for years. But some people would talk about how funny he was, and I would see him occasionally. And I had a bias, obviously, because I had this traumatic thing. Then at the 40th reunion, Norm came up to me and he said, "I just have to apologize to you. That was a terrible thing to do. I can't believe I did that terrible thing." And I said, "Oh," and then that meant a lot to me. And then after that, I could watch Norm stuff, and I realized he's hysterical. Okay, it was like I was able to emotionally let it in how great and funny he is.
That's an interesting comment on
Yeah.
there is some gateway to your sense of humor that goes through personal
I know
feelings.
that's embarrassing because it's very
No, but that's
narcissistic.
everybody,
I
though.
mean, like,
Christ, I can't tell you how people just hate my humor now, and I think, oh, that's a pretty good joke. And I try to figure it out, like sometimes where somebody
Right.
will over-like a joke and somebody
Right.
will
Yes.
under-like
Oh,
a joke, and
yeah.
I'll see the finer
Yeah.
gradation that was a decent joke. It probably should have
Right.
hit right in here. And I could see, I said, oh, I see. It really isn't an involuntary gesture. There is some
Right.
price of admission to get through to really convulse somebody.
Yeah,
and it's
that's
about
true.
their biases towards you.
yes, it's true.
Well, I'm glad Norm came around because it
Yes.
seemed like a particularly... He was probably scared shitless, too. Everybody was a little scared over there.
Yeah,
and,
exactly. No, I mean, I'm sure I've had bad moments there as well.
Take me on a journey. Take me far away from this life. I'd leave it in a hurry. Let's run away before morning light. You got me.
I don't know if you know this, but
I used to tour with Norm Macdonald for 7 years. Yeah. And so like whenever like he was like my best friend. So like whenever I have like auditions and stuff, he used to say, "Oh, just don't bother acting because there's a good chance you won't get it anyway." And those are the ones that I usually got it. You know what I mean?
Hold on, I have to hide my self view because if I'm on camera, I look at myself, which is weird. Okay.
Oh, by the way, I don't promote the video.
Oh, okay, no, that's okay. Do whatever you want with it. But I'm just saying, for me, I become distracted by myself.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, Norm.
I saw your tweet, and I wanted you to know that he loved you very much because when I was
that meant a lot to me. That's what made me do it. I'm not doing interviews really, but yeah, it happened right away when he got on the show, and we only overlapped by a few months. Yeah. And so he was young and new, and I was jaded and had one foot out the door. So we both kind of we're in a weird place, to be maybe not at our best, but he had come up and yelled at me about a sketch that he wrote, and it was in, but then it got traded out for a sketch of mine or something, which happens all the time,
Right.
And he would certainly learn that, but at that moment he didn't. And I was in the makeup chair, and he came and started yelling at me about it, which it wasn't even my responsibility I was not in charge of that.
Right.
And then and I think I was saying that, and I was kind of shocked because I felt like I was a senior statesman, like I'd been there 4 years, and he just had arrived on the scene, and he was yelling at me about something I had nothing to do with. And then he started saying how unfunny I was not funny, blah, blah, blah. And that was really rude. And it was in the makeup trailer with a bunch of people anyway, which I don't really care, but it didn't get us off on the best foot.
Yeah.
But then, as I said, and then, when I left SNL, I didn't watch the show at all. Like I was so sick of anything sketch related. I really didn't watch it for years. So I missed his genius, like I didn't know. I would hear about him. I mean, I wasn't in an igloo, but
right.
But I didn't, because we'd had that weird thing. But Lori Joe, I was in contact with,
Oh, Lojo. I love Lojo.
Yeah. And I suspect it was her that made him, come around maybe, or rethink it. Or maybe he didn't, maybe he rethought it 1 week later. I have no idea. I don't know. But I just know that it wasn't for years later that I see the sketches of him and realize what a real comic genius he was. I mean, really, just so good. And like going to the reunions, I realized that he was so good. Like, I'm so out of it. I'm like, somebody's old aunt who's like, "What's up with the kids now?" And so then I was like, "Oh, he really is good." And I actually didn't hold it against him. I feel even bad saying it. But then the only reason I put that tweet out there is because I thought it was so big of him to come to me and say, "I think I said something to you that was mean, when we first met, and I'm so sorry, and I think you're great." And it was just not that many people do that, that showed such wonderful character, and it just made me love him, and so, but then some people got mad at me for tweeting that. I really meant it positively. Like,
I took it positively.
Like everyone has a bad moment, and what I was trying to show is that he reflected on it and made an apology that was genuine and sincere and accepted on both sides. So it's like, that's not a common thing to happen. And he did that. So I was trying to be positive about it, but some people were like, not the time and place and stuff like that. And anyway, ugh.
I remember when I told him I was going to interview you like 3 years ago, and he's like, "Oh my God, that's going to be awesome. I can't wait to listen to it." And I was like, yeah. And he's like, "I only did one movie, and she played my mom."
Oh, what?
Yeah, he said that you played his mom on Dirty Work or something.
Oh, I've done so many of those little parts.
And I watched it and I didn't see you, so I don't know if he was screwing with me, but
I'm pretty sure I'm not in that. Although I've been cast as the mom so often, and it's like, but yeah, he's probably mixing me up with someone. But it doesn't matter.
yeah, but I just thought it was funny because he said nothing but good things about you. So I just wanted.
Okay, that's good. Maybe he actually totally thought of me as someone else. But yeah. But you must miss him so much.
Yeah, it was.
Did you know? Like, was he getting sicker and sicker around you, or?
Well, I found out he had cancer in December, and. There was only a handful of people who knew. And, he kind of made me say, like, I can't tell anyone or whatever. But he also told me that it was a different type of cancer from what came out that he had. So I don't know. Like, I feel kind of, like, privileged that I knew, but also kind of hurt because it wasn't what he told me. You know what I mean?
But maybe he told you the truth.
No, yeah, he told me he had colon cancer, and when he died,
he just didn't want. Yeah. What did I don't even know. I just knew he had cancer. What did they say it was?
It was leukemia cancer. So I don't know.
If you have like something like colon cancer, I think it can get into the lymph system and become a lymphoma. Like I don't. Like a lot of times in late stage cancers, there's overlapping cancers, but usually you name your cancer after the first one you have. So it would be colon, but he probably just thought people would make jokes about it.
Yeah. I just know nothing about cancer, and it sucks because, I was born in July. It's a birthday joke.
Okay, that was a good one. It took me a moment.
Oh, thank you so much. It's so good to hear you laugh.
You want me to call Don Omeyer right now and ask him if you could have your job back?
Sure.
Okay. Gary, let's take a break. Give me the phone number for Don Omeyer. Where is he? Do you have a number on him?
Lojo probably has a number on.
Lojo. Who's Lojo?
Lojo.
Is that the guy you're with?
No, she's my assistant.
Lojo.
Yeah.
Let me see her. Is she here?
Yeah.
Let me take a look at your assistant, man. What's that about?
She's just my
assistant. She hot?
No, she's not hot.
Really?
She's not, I don't want to say that.
You just did.
You just did. He goes, I don't want to say that.
No.
Is she like a sexy assistant?
No. I don't
what?
want to. She's a very nice girl.
Lojo.
So I don't want to say she's not hot.
You know what Lojo rhymes with?
What? Oh, bloke.
Yeah,
sorry.
It actually doesn't rhyme with that, does it?
Doesn't.
No. Lojo.
Yeah. I brought my friends Lojo and Frank Sebastiano and Artie Lang, my buddy that I did this movie with.
So a shout out to Jim Downey, and I'm thinking about him because Norm so loved him and admired him, and a shout out to a very special person, Lori Jo Hoekstra, who was Norm's, right hand partner in crime, and she. I did have a chance to speak to her since this all happened, and she's just such a lovely person, and I'm thinking of her because she just did so much for Norm over the years, and Norm was so lucky to have her. So I just wanted to address those two people who I think deserve our love and thoughts right now. I was talking to Lori Jo. And I asked her if it's okay if I related this, and she said it was okay. But she said that not too long ago, someone asked Norm about the moth story that he told on our Tonight Show, and that she said the guy wanted to know what made you have the nerve to do that, and that he said that. It was that goddamn Frank Smiley. He said, I was only supposed to do one segment. And then suddenly in the commercial break, Frank came over and said, like, you're doing another one, because whenever I had Norm, I was greedy. I wanted more Norm. I always wanted more Norm. And so he didn't know that that we were going to ask him to do a second segment. He had nothing planned, absolutely nothing planned. And so as recently as like not that long ago, I think this was a couple of months ago, he was telling somebody, damn it, that was Frank Smiley. Hey, get back out there. Conan wants more.
So he heard that joke from Colin Quinn.
Uh-huh.
And he did the segment, and it was he had 7 minutes prepared.
Yeah.
And so he basically, you say, and then he's done. You say, we'll be right back with more Norm. And he goes, I've got nothing to say.
Yeah.
So then he remembered the Colin joke, and it was a 20-second joke. So he asked you, how long is the segment?
Uh-huh.
And he was hoping you'd say 20 seconds.
Right.
But you said 7 minutes.
Yep.
So it became a 7-minute joke.
Yeah. I said to Lori Joe today, I said, on the flip side, because I brought this up, and I said, on the flip side, if in a magical world Norm had been presented with all of this incredible praise, he would have found a way to deflect it.
Probably would have made his skin crawl.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so, he wouldn't have this might have been the way he wanted it, but
it's been a while, and I still like the way you look at me.
Norm Macdonald, Canadian. He is very funny, very Jimmy Stewart-like almost in his...
tall,
like a
blue eyes.
He's very handsome.
Yeah,
Handsome.
and he's got a really nice...
Is he available?
Norm, you have everything. From the outside, you're hilarious. You are a good-looking guy. You're famous. You have beautiful blue eyes. You're Norm Macdonald.
That was an amazing experience watching Russell Brand and Norm Macdonald, because in my opinion, I think you and I are kind of together on this, two of the most beautiful human beings, comedically, aesthetically, just to look at. Like, you just look at Norm, you kind of can't stop looking at him. Like, people go like, hey, Norm, but like, nah, if you look at Norm Macdonald, if I just showed you a photo of Norm Macdonald, you know who he was, and I'm like, oh, you don't remember this guy from the Cary Grant movies? You wouldn't go like, no, what? Like, he's gorgeous.
No, but girls like me sometimes.
Yeah, well, you're very twinkly and warm and affable, and you've got an innocence about you. People will love that.
I don't work out. I'm a weak man. You know that, Dennis.
Well, listen, you and I were on the Mount Olympus of weakness.
And not just physically.
No, in every way.
In every single way. So I told the guy that, and he said he couldn't do anything except for the physical part. But I don't know if he was the best trainer anyway. He was smoking a butt the whole time.
No, that's not good.
That's just a joke. He was a big guy. And but I told him, I said, look, I don't want be big like you. I don't want veins. I have no use for that in my arms, or abs. I don't want abs. I don't even know quite what they are. All I know is they were invented around the 80s. And I don't even know what you do when you get them. You know what I mean? Because you got to wear a shirt. You just go to work and go, hey, you want to see these things on my belly? Everybody's like, no. But so I told the guy, I said, I'm here for one reason only. I want to have one hot ass.
Norm, was this, it's a little Paul Newman going on down there, right?
You
No,
were
more
handsome,
like, yeah, you were handsome.
Huh?
What the happened? Anyway, no, I did Weekend
Have
Update.
you seen Paul Newman lately?
You do look better.
I know that in this day, nobody's gonna change. You won't ever leave. On my mind again, I'm still not tired of it. Can make you want me. And I might act okay, say things will stay the same. Say them all out.
Look at those shoulders. Yeah, strong back. You got a beautiful ass. Yeah. No, I wouldn't mind a piece of that.
went once to a commercial.
You've been a commercial audition. It's not fake.
Oh, right.
Anchor.
That's it. That's right. I went once to a commercial, and it was the script said, "Hey, Phil, I see I got a Buick." So that was the line, you know. So all night I'm up like fucking nervous, and I'm reading in the mirror like I'm like, "Hi, Phil." I'm trying to like fucking say some words louder than other words in the script. I'm like, "Hey, Phil, I say you got a Buick," you know. So then I go there. First of all, my manager used to lie. He'd go like, "These guys are big fans of your comedy. They want to meet you."
Right.
They're big fans. And then I'd show up. There's 4,000 people there. I'm like, they're huge fan. He just lied to me, thinking I wouldn't make it worse when I showed up and they weren't big fans. But anyways, I went in and the guy. So I said, "Hey, he's got one camera on me." I go, "Hey, Phil, I see you got that Buick." And then the guy goes, "Great!" Like it's great. Like how could that be great? So I go, "Oh, thanks, man." He goes, "But this time," he goes, "do it again and just go off the script." He goes, "Forget the script. Like there's a script. There's fucking 4 words." I go, "Okay, I'll ignore the script." He goes, "Yeah, just go crazy and whatever you want to do, and you're just alone."
How crazy can you go?
Yeah. So I said, but I just agreed because I was paralyzed. I'm like, "Yes, okay," because they think you're Mork from Ork, just because you're a comedian.
Yeah.
So,
right.
So then I freaked out. I panicked, and I just said the same words, like real nervous, just to get out. I said, "Hey, I see I got a new Buick, Frank." And then the guy's like, "Huh? I guess it was good. Bye." And then my buddy, he was a commie too, and I said, "What'd you do?" And he goes, "I fucked the floor." I go, "Well, you probably did the right thing." Because that's what they were looking for, you know, something like that. But what I want to tell you is this. With all your wealth and your success, and this is serious from the heart, you know, you got to remember, this is a saying I made up. And when I say, you know, I used to make jokes at 12:30 about him being gay, that's absolutely ridiculous. But when we were starting out, I will tell you one story about Andy. No, what I do is I've decided to become a kind of a social observer. You know me, I like to make jokes about hats. But it says right here, there's a new strain of swine flu that could turn into a pandemic. Like, I don't know much about science, you know? I don't pretend to be a epidemiologist. Sometimes I do, but, you know, that's when I've had a little whiskey.
Yeah.
But I do know this, a word cannot be good when it's a combination of panic and epidemic.
So how'd this...
Look, we're reading your resume. It says here your last gainful employment was trying to assassinate a sitting president. That doesn't go good down here. We run a kind of a mom and pop operation. Also, look at that guy, man. Good Lord, I'd like to, whatever. I'm thankful for the fine ladies who live across this country and leave pies on their windowsills. So an old chunk of coal like me might have a meal from time to time.
Okay. Are there a lot of these?
I'm most thankful for, honest to God, is friends.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah.
Yes, Conan, friends. Especially the one where Joey buys Chandler a duck.
All right, yeah.
Hey, I'm thankful that this year the police finally solved the baffling murder of Bob Hope. No, the Burbank police and the
And finally, like when I was young, there was a fella went by the name of Jacques de Gautier. I started to do stand-up and travel from here to there and to here again. We're tuning in to listen to comedians doing comedy. Plus some douchebag, I don't know who he was, but I like to punch him right in the fucking face.
I'm not an actor and I'm not a comedian.
This guy says your face looks like a cunt. I met you underneath the Queensboro Bridge. You at the time were jerking off punks for $15 a man.
My whole family's watching, man. My grandmother.
Your family doesn't know that when you were a young man, you used to jerk off punks for $15 a man? You got paid for this?
You didn't get a check?
I did not get a check. Who paid you?
Daniel Kelson, our producer. He gave me a check last week.
You got a check from Daniel?
Yeah, I got it right here.
No way. Let me see that.
Yeah, right here.
Let me see this thing. It is from Daniel Kellison, paid to the order of Adam Egget for services rendered, $15. Game of Thorns.
It's Thrones.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
Sure. Yeah. Well, what the fuck is that? Whoever watched that? Now, you're telling me that's better than Norm Macdonald Live?
I mean, I don't want to say it's better than, a lot of people watch it. It's a pretty popular show.
What's it about? It's about pictures of ladies?
Yeah, ladies and knights and kings and midgets and, dragons.
Sounds like my honeymoon. Kinky Boots is number 8.
Yeah.
Sounds like my honeymoon. There's this guy, Chance Langton. You know him? He's a comic.
No.
But he said when he was a young boy, he loved Shirley Temple. He was 5 and she was 5. The next year, he saw her in a mall. He was 6, she was 50.
And his descriptions of the food.
Look it.
What was the music all about?
I just put that there.
Gross.
What kind of sandwich was that? Pastrami or?
I feel like an elephant is not fat. Well, it's so isolated, you see, because there is another sister that lives there. A leper.
So he fucked a leper?
Let's not be coarse. Good God, man. I wish I could find a Hitler of today and go kill him. By the way, I saw that film that you recommended me that you called a fantasy, Shoah. Horrifying. I had a question I wanted to ask you about your comedy.
Yeah, I've been chomping at the bits to ask this one. I've been thinking about it all week. Norm told me to come up with some questions for you, and I've just been dying to know, where do you get your ideas from? Well, I mean...
Were you in New York when the Twin Towers fell?
No, I was in Los Angeles.
Well, either way, it was a national tragedy. It was.
Yeah, I know.
9/11. We're going to go to hell. We got problems in this country, you know? For instance, systematic racism, you know? And here's the problem. Nobody thinks they're racist. I remember I was in Portland one time, Portland, Oregon. And the driver picked me up to take me to the gig. I got off the airplane, the driver's driving, and we're driving through downtown Portland, and he says, you know, we got no racists in Portland, no racism at all. And I looked around, everyone was white, you know? So I said to the guy, I said, well, it's pretty easy not to be racist when everybody's white. And then the guy says to me, he goes, we got our share. I'm like, good Lord, we got our share. That's not right. Why are not all, but a lot of drivers, for some reason, like taxi drivers and something, turned out to be racists, you know? That's what I hear a lot, because I don't drive. So I'll get in a cab, and the guy will go, you know what's wrong with this country, don't you? And I go, I got an idea. So what is it? They go, you ever have it when the guy says, and you don't even know which race it is? Like I had a guy once, he goes, now there's a problem in this country, huh? I go, tell me. And he goes, too many goddamn scuttleheads. I was like, huh? So I looked it up in the dictionary, in Wikipedia, everywhere. I found scuttle, and I found head, and I tried to put them together. I couldn't understand it. I've asked people of every race, and no one has ever heard of the term scuttlehead. And by the way, I would be fine if we just blamed all our problems on the scuttleheads. You know what I mean? Just make them the scapegoats. Why not? As a matter of fact, why not make the goats the scapegoats, like in the old days? Sacrifice a goat. Make it his problem. That's the one that's at fault. That goat eating a tin can. But anyways, I'm not here to talk about goats. I don't know why I'm here.
Jim's. This what you said their neighbor was? Jim Ping?
That is my neighbor. A nice fella.
Nice guy?
Let me as abacus
I want to do
yesterday.
this. Jesus.
Oh, come on. That's not a Chinese guy.
I wasn't saying it was.
No, that's kind of
What are you,
racist.
Mickey Rooney?
Hey, come on.
I know he's dead,
Have a
but
little
Mickey Rooney
respect.
did a very racist thing like you just did in a movie called Breakfast at Tiffany's by the wonderful Truman Capote.
I wasn't doing anything racist, and you know it. But go ahead.
Do you have any other color jokes? I mean, he's just blue and yellow.
Did you just say, do I have any other colored jokes?
I knew you were going to say that.
Fucking Jimmy the Greek over here. I don't want to...
Jimmy the Greek.
How about Jimmy the Greek gets kicked out for being a racist? Meanwhile, they call him the Greek. Yeah, I gained 45 pounds.
Are you okay? Yeah, what's going on?
I'm doing it for a movie.
For what role? What's the role?
What are you playing, Jackie Gleason? What do you mean
It's
you're
not a
doing it for
particular movie. I just think they always need a fat guy in a movie.
You're doing hard.
You're paying it
rolling
forward,
hard.
yeah.
No, I'm going to lose it though.
Yeah, it's the heaviest I've ever seen.
And since I've gained it, I sweat like a
you sweat
like a whore in church. I don't mean to be
what?
I don't mean to be filthy, but
a whore in church.
Yeah, she's nervous, so she sweats because
Sweating like a Chris Dorner in a Big Bear cabin.
Okay, come on.
Well, I'm just.
That's racist.
Did you read his manifesto?
Two businessmen bought the Milwaukee Bucks for $550 million. They are very excited with their purchase, as this is the only legal way to own black people. Now that is here, and I read that.
Well, you're not there. You know how businessmen are racist?
They are.
Yes, it's them being racist.
They
not
are.
You.
The two businessmen that bought the Milwaukee Bucks for $550 million
Yeah.
are racist, according
they're
to this.
fine, man.
They're.
You know the joke about B.B. King's wife?
No.
You don't?
No, I don't think so.
B.B.'s having a birthday, so she wants to surprise him, so she goes to the tattoo parlor. She says, put a B on one cheek and a B on the other. So the guy does it. She goes home. B.B. comes home. She opens the door, bends over, drops her shorts, and says, surprise! He said, who's Bob? that's racist.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. The one and only Super Dave. I was born in this joke about
Yeah, tell that to Michael Richards, man.
Well, wow.
That's not a racist joke.
Yeah, sure it isn't.
Who's Bob?
Yeah, you know.
Laying in the morning shade. What do we?
What do you think about this dog, the bounty hunter? Have you been following that at all, Norm?
Oh, that guy, I mean, to me that sounds racist. But like you gotta remember that even though that is a racist comment, listen, man, we've all known bounty hunters in our time, you know, and they have that thing like curse like a sailor. Well, that could go for bounty hunters just as well. They just chose sailor. Those guys. I mean, they're not like you or me, you know?
No, they're bounty hunters.
If you choose that as your career, you know, you're a bounty hunter. Listen, some salty language is not going to be You may as well just be a longshoreman. No, there's nothing worse than bounty hunting.
Norm, you're a genius. All right, we got a couple minutes left. Anything else you want to lay on the listeners before we leave today?
That was funny, that bounty hunting thing. Seems like he's going to get a pass on it, right?
I don't think so, Norm. I think he's in trouble.
Are his bounty hunting days over?
Where's he go from that?
We can't keep you on. I'm sorry, but, you know, you have to... You know, you have a public image of hunting down criminals in their hotel rooms, diving at them in the middle of the night and beating them up. We can't have you saying racist things. I don't know.
All right, Norm, I'm going to put some oxygen on my face here and recover. You're going to be on every Friday now?
Yeah, that'll be fun, right?
Oh, are you kidding me?
I'll feel like your Pete Barbuti.
Barbuti. No, stop. Chuck Mangione references be far behind.
Yeah.
Thank you, Storm and Norman. We'll talk at you down the road.
Who would you trade places with for a day?
I guess Donald Trump.
Just for the money, or?
Yeah, just to know what it is to live in a palace and have thousands of people beat each other up.
And Melania.
And Melania gets thrown in the deal too.
Norm, I would consider you arguably maybe the best host of Weekend Update on SNL. I think you're one of the most beloved. I mean, I feel like I'm really like crawling in. But anyways, if you were still hosting, what would you have to say about Donald Trump?
Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Well, Donald Trump's like an interesting character because obviously what he's saying is resonating with the American public. Or he wouldn't be on top of the polls, right? And so if you have a clown saying these things, an utterly unlikable person saying these things, imagine if you had a charismatic individual, somebody with the charisma of Reagan or Bill Clinton saying something like this. Then you could be in dangerous territory, boy.
Could you do a little...
That was funny, huh?
Profound. Norm? It was profound. I thought you were going somewhere like leader of Germany. I didn't know where we were headed.
Yeah.
You were just on Fallon the other night.
Yeah.
Trump was there. Did you guys talk a little bit?
Well, what happened was, first of all, I watched it. I thought it was fine. Then the next day they were like, Jimmy wasn't. It's Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
He's not going to ruin his chance to get to host Face the Nation. So no, I was second guest. And he was first guest. First time I was ever second guest.
Really?
Yeah. And
I didn't mean to be really like surprised, like, oh, continue.
but it was Donald Trump, you know. So there's only like a couple minutes between. So Donald Trump came out, and he was with the Secret Service guys. And I said, "Can I get a picture, Mr. Trump?" And so he's like, "Oh, yeah, I know you, I love you. Yeah, we'll get a picture." I knew him from before. He goes, "We'll get a picture. Just give me a minute." And then he turns around, he walks down the hall, and gets in an elevator.
You're still waiting.
Yeah, I was like,
you're like, best trick ever.
I know, it was like a Buster Keaton movie or something.
Gotta use that. That's a
You met Donald Trump when he was on The Tonight Show on Jimmy Fallon show. Now, tell us about that encounter you had with Donald Trump.
Well, I'd met Donald Trump many, many times in New York City, just because when I was doing Saturday Night Live, he was a fixture in New York City, and he'd come to a lot of the shows, and he was just a local eccentric, you know, that people mostly loved in New York because he fixed the rink in Central Park when the city couldn't. But no, when I was on Jimmy Fallon, that's when Jimmy Fallon tousled his hair and got in trouble for it, and I was the other guest. So I was just out in the hallway, and I said, "Donald, can I have a picture?" You could call him Donald then. I guess you can still call him Donald. We don't have to call him President, apparently. But I said, "Could I get a picture with you?" And he said, "Yeah, absolutely, sure, Norm." And then he walked down the hall and got in the elevator with the Secret Service guys. So, but he was just doing it as a joke. A lot of times, the problem with candidates that, or political candidates that do comedy is obviously comedy doesn't translate well to the page sometimes, you know, sarcasm is lost, obviously, and things like that. So if someone says something that's meant self-disparagingly or satirically, and you want to take it out of context, you can. And that happened a lot of times with Trump on the campaign trail.
But you know, he's being caricatured on Saturday Night Live, like quite mercilessly by Alec Baldwin. Like, is it funny to you? Is that funny?
No. The only reason I don't find it funny, when I was there, Daryl Hammond did Donald Trump, and that shows how far back Trump goes, because that was 20 years ago. But Daryl did him then. It was a softer Trump, you know. I think it was a Trump that was a lot closer to his real self. But if you do, the problem with, if you do an impression of someone, you have to like that person, you know, because you're playing the person, and people like themselves. So you can't play someone and have contempt for them at the same time. You know, it doesn't work as an impression. So I don't like his impression, and I have no political affiliation. I just mean from a comedy level.
Where is the funny in Donald Trump? Because he does think he's funny, right?
Yes, but other people think he's funny too. I attended one of his just to see, you know, because I wanted to see it for myself. His performances in front of these grand halls, and he's enormously funny and entertaining. And I don't know that there's normally with politicians. You know, it takes, you need to be humble, you know, to be really funny. And I think that's why Ronald Reagan was the funniest president that I ever saw, because he always had this humility to him. I was kind of lost with President Obama, because people told me he was funny, but to me he was too self-aware. And of course Hillary couldn't have been more strident, you know. And I think people don't vote on issues as much as they just vote on who they'd like this, that old saw about who you'd rather have a beer with, you know. And nobody wanted to have a beer with Hillary Clinton, you know.
You say that he has to be, that one person has to be humble to be funny, but I don't think Donald Trump is very humble, is he?
No, there's no humility to Donald Trump. Donald Trump is more funny in the way that a WWE wrestler is, you know. So he is a different kind of funny, which is a sort of a self-deluded, I don't know if it's self-delusion though. I don't know if it's all, I think it's just all an act. I don't think really that Trump ever wanted to be president. I think that he was always just playing to be president or whatever that hall he was playing in was, you know? And I've seen this happen with comedians too, that you start thinking you're good because the people that come to see you all like you, you know? But the reason they came to see you is because they like you. So politicians and comedians both make that mistake of thinking they're much better than they are because they're never criticized by the people that don't like them. That's why social media is so good, because you can see the people that don't like you at all.
I listened to an interview you gave Larry King, and you said the ruin of Donald Trump will be his addiction to playing the halls, right? So he's a great performer. He just wanted to be you, like he wanted to be a stand-up comedian, and he just accidentally became a president?
My guess would be that his plan was to make a big splash, lose, oh, that's not good. What should we do now, Joyce?
Just don't answer, okay? If it's possible.
No, I won't answer.
Yeah.
So should I start answering that question again?
Sure.
Yeah, I think him becoming president surprised him. I think, you know, it's funny that people don't remember, but back in the debates, there was a big issue with Donald Trump saying if he lost, it meant the election. Are you kidding me? I know, I did. Oh, 1 second. Hello? Yes. Oh, I gotta call you back. I'm on the TV, man. Yeah, I'm on the TV right now. Oh my God. Oh, but I'll call you right back. Sorry.
Okay, I'm not going to ask you the question again.
I feel that Trump, personally, I feel that he didn't think he was going to become president. And interestingly, the thing that people don't remember was that, but I remember, was that during the debates, there was all this talk of Donald Trump saying, if he loses, it means the election is rigged. And all the media were saying, no, that's impossible. You know, take that back. You cannot say that about the American Republic. No election here could ever be rigged. That's impossible. And of course now they're saying the exact opposite. But I think it was Trump's idea at that point that he would say it was going to be rigged, thinking he thought Hillary was going to win, I think. And then he would start a network or something like that where he could speak and be the loyal opposition of his own, you know, something different than Fox.
Let me ask you this. So your Bob Dole imitation was pretty famous back in the day. So would you do Donald Trump today? Would you do a Donald Trump imitation?
I try to not do comedy about Donald Trump because I think I had one joke about Donald Trump that I ever did where I said that Americans hated Hillary Clinton so much that they voted for someone they hated more than Hillary Clinton to rub it in. And that's the only time I ever made a joke about Trump. But I try to stay away from it because it's just, you know, it's low-hanging fruit, and also, you know, Trump oftentimes is doing self-parody, and nothing looks dumber than if you parody self-parody. You know, you really get caught not understanding.
So comedy in the time of Trump, is it more difficult than it was when you were on Saturday Night Live?
It's more difficult in the time of Trump for good comedians, and it's way easier for bad comedians. You know, you don't have a worldview by just saying you don't like Trump. You know what I mean? That doesn't count. Like you can't just say I hate Trump, and that makes you a good person. And the Democrats just can't say I hate Trump, and that means they have a position. You know, that's no position. So for idiots, it's an easier time because you go, well, that guy's the idiot, not me. But if you try to do smart comedy, it's better to stay away from Trump. You know.
Norm Macdonald, thanks so much for being with us today, for spending this time with us. It was great. Great to see you.
Great to see you. I love you, Joyce.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Donald
short
Trump.
joke? Donald Trump. Oh,
Donald Trump.
But I thought you don't tell
Donald Trump joke.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't, but I want to get in.
Are you a supporter of Donald Trump, or are you against Donald Trump?
I'm against Donald Trump.
Okay. All right.
Donald Trump goes into
a bank? No.
bar. He goes into a bar.
Does he fuck a frog?
No.
I can believe that.
No.
You know, Donald had his. He played pretty. He played.
Donald
around.
Trump goes into a bar and he says, bartender says, "What's up, Donald Trump?" And Donald Trump goes, "I tell you something." He says, "I got me a genie." You know, he says, "I got one of them lamps. I rubbed it. Goddamn, the genie didn't come out. Gave me 3 wishes." Bartender says, "What'd you wish for?" He said, "Well, first thing I wish for, all the money in the world. I got it. You know, I'm a billionaire. Then what else you wish for?" "I wish for all women in the world." He says, "Got all these women, married the most beautiful woman I've ever met." And the bartender says, "Oh man, that's great." And he said, and then Donald Trump goes, "But I did fuck up a little." You know, he says, "How'd you fuck up?" He goes, "Oh, I wish for a giant pumpkin head."
Look at you.
That's a crazy.
What do you do?
joke.
You sit home all day and write these things?
I'll tell you this. A guy in
By
a
the way-
bar told me a joke that I thought was one of the funniest jokes about Donald Trump. Is an old Mexican fella, and he runs a bookstore, you know. And he's been in the country his whole life. He's worked hard for the American dream, and now he has a bookstore, you know. He saved all his money from all the terrible jobs he had to do because he came over here illegally, but he became a great citizen and a great man of the United States. And I'm here at the pleasure of the United States from Canada. And so this Mexican guy has saved his money and has opened a bookstore. And he's happy about this. Big, fat, white guy comes in, redneck, you know. He goes, "You got Donald Trump's latest book?" And the Mexican, you know, he's taken this his whole life, you know. You can notice by the slope of his shoulders.
Yeah.
And he says, "No, sir, I do not have it." Quietly, you know, but with great dignity. Big fat guy adjusts his belt buckle. Says, "Don't you even understand what I'm saying? Goddamn Mexican. You even speak English?" Says, "Well, sir, I believe I'm speaking fluent English to you right now." "Yeah, well, maybe not." "Anyways, you got the goddamn Donald Trump book, or don't you?" He says, "I've explained to you, sir." He says, I'm not going to ask you this again." He goes, "You got that goddamn book, or don't you?" Now, this old Mexican man has finally taken all the outrage that he has held within him throughout his whole life, being treated like a second-class citizen in a country that he pays taxes, boils over, you know. And he addresses this big fat redneck, and he goes, "Listen, pal," because "I want you the fuck out of here. I never want to see you in this fucking place again. I don't welcome you. You suck. I fucking hate you. Get out." The guy says, "That's it. Is it in soft cover or is it only in hard? Because my wife, I want to get it for the wife, but I don't want to pay for the hard cover."